In a world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes, an elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad, an ongoing investigation into films based on video games. I'm John Campbell. Back with me for this part of the investigation, Elliott Lewis.
Wow, John, we've really hit a wall with this Silent Hill stuff. The board, the conspiracy board, the crime board is just, it's all over the place right now.
Yeah, get that Charlie Day meme.
Yeah,
and it really
that's
is
how
just,
I'm feeling.
This, I gotta say, yeah, we have just 2 Silent Hill films to cover here, although there's a third one existing in the world, as we talked about on the last episode somewhere.
Yeah, Christoph Gans keeps threatening to get another one out there.
Christoph Gans says, I'll get it right this time.
And I'll make those IP Squad idiots review another one.
You see, you'll love it this time. Yes, this week, though, we're talking about 2012 Silent Hill Revelation.
Silent Hill Revelation 3D.
Yes.
Importantly.
Oh, as if, and here's the thing, even if we didn't say that, you watch 10 minutes of this movie, and it's, the 3D, this is the worst kind of 3D.
It is, it's like so obviously in your face that it's like, whoa. I think the only 3D that's worse than this is not covered this season because it has to be its whole own thing. The Resident Evil 3D film.
Yeah.
I think that is probably the only one I can think of that's worse, really.
Yes, for sure. This was definitely we're firmly in the era of, hey, 3D's the next big thing. Speaking 13 years later. It wasn't.
Nope. It's not.
It was a gimmick.
I don't even think any theaters do it anymore.
Yeah, or if they do, maybe a screening. But, it's so weird. I see trailers for movies now where they go, see it in IMAX, and then it'll just be 3D.
Yeah, more 3D. It's
if they have that still,
it's there.
Yeah,
if they have that. I don't know.
Yeah, they do. I think some movies still get a cursory where available 3D. But yeah, this movie
and now Screen X is the new thing that they're trying to push, which is
incredibly stupid.
It's crazy that it's more nothing than 3D was.
It really. I saw one movie and it just be what is this like? And I was like, oh, completely pointless.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's stuff to the side of you.
Yeah. Oh, if your peripheral vision sucks like mine does, then you won't notice.
Yeah. My dad went to it, and his thing was every time it lit up, he would stare right at. I'd be like, "No, Dad, you're not supposed to look at it. It's about peripheral." Because he goes, well, "This looks like shit." It's no, it's not in focus.
It's about the atmosphere.
Yeah. It's dumb.
You're to see a movie, okay?
Yeah.
Just show me the fucking movie.
I gotta say, I don't always talk about the posters, but I do want to talk about this poster because the poster is 3D. Check out the poster. It's Pyramid Head holding out his big sword right at you with the title of the movie written across the blade.
And how were people supposed to put on their 3D glasses to look at the poster?
Whoa! This Halloween, prepare for a 3D ride through hell.
It wasn't, though.
No, I gotta say, I didn't find the first one scary. This one somehow is even less scary.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's more like disturbing, I think, than the first, or at least tries to be more disturbing than the first one. It's got a lot more of the like, you know, body horror
for sure
to it. But yeah, it does not build atmosphere particularly well, and it is.
No.
I mean, I hate if this is a 2010s across the board complaint that everyone was making, so it's kind of like beating a dead horse. But
go ahead.
it's so jump scare heavy. It's so jump scare heavy.
I mean,
and it's like
to an absurd degree, to a point where I started laughing at the jump scares regularly. Oh yeah, there we go.
I mean, right away, fucking the Pop-Tart jump scare. I'm never gonna let anyone forget.
No.
About.
Nor should you.
It's the dumbest thing.
I will say one of the biggest things was I was not prepared for how much of a sequel this was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really know. I thought maybe it was going to be kind of a soft reboot. It's not.
No, it is a direct sequel to the first Silent Hill movie.
Yeah, because I knew Sean Bean was back, and then I was surprised that they got Rada Mitchell for an hour.
For once, they were like, "Oh, Rada, are you in town?
Yeah,
can you come by for like a couple hours?"
I mean, it almost seems like she probably was in makeup longer than she was on set. Honestly, because it really is just like she pops in basically to be like, "Here's what the deal is and why it's like this in this movie. Now, bye."
Okay, bye. You'll never see me again.
Yeah, except for, I guess, maybe if they were planning another one where Sean Bean went off to find her at the end of this movie.
They must have this. Well, okay, so I will say that if I don't know how what you looked up about it, but
I only vaguely know that it's primarily based on Silent Hill 3, right?
Yeah, the 3 is the game that they were that JM or MJ. I keep mixing that up in my head. That MJ pulled Silent Hill stuff from, but she was not intending to make it a Silent Hill 3 movie. Which, I mean, right, the problem, and she has said this herself, right? Yeah. Like the problem stemmed from trying to both make it a Silent Hill 3 game and making it a sequel to the first Silent Hill movie.
Right.
And yes, that becomes evident very quickly.
Here's the thing. This is the second time on this show, not this season, but in the Pulp and Comic Strip Hero season, we covered Solomon Kane that MJ Bassett directed as well. And we were super complimentary of her work in that. That movie actually is, I think people slept on that Solomon Kane movie. It's actually super fun. So
okay.
and she's directing the Red Sonja movie that's coming out, which
that's right. I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm once again primarily because of her. So I'm gonna let her off the hook on a lot of stuff here on some level because I do think she's a talented director. I've seen other work that I've liked of hers.
Yeah, and she's still right. Like it's not like she kind of fell off until the Red Sonja thing. Like she's directed a lot of TV, like a couple episodes of like Star Trek, Lower Decks also.
Yeah, but did some Ash versus Evil Dead, has done some Reacher.
Ash versus Evil Dead, one of the Quantum Leap episodes she directed, the new ones.
Yeah, I mean, works really a lot of work in like big tier television. From what I gather, reading what I can of what's written about this movie, because movies of this failure don't often people aren't quick to chronicle the making of them.
No.
But she's pretty clear that she was not thrilled with how this turned out.
No.
Yeah. And this one was definitely, whereas. Not that it was much better. Our friend Christoph Gans was in a lot of creative control. This one sounds much more like they were really pushing MJ Bassett around on this and sort of going. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen on this thing.
It does seem like that's the case. Like I know Christoph Gans, we talked about in the Silent Hill episode, was like, oh, there was a lot of studios coming in telling me this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe, but I believe it a little more with this one.
Yeah. I definitely do.
Especially considering it was in development hell for like 5 or 6 years or something.
Well, because the initial plan was to continue with Roger Avery at the very least writing the second movie.
But then he pulled a Barbara Bush and ended up in jail.
Yeah, it happens. Look up Roger Avery on your own. It's not great.
No.
But I actually completely forgotten all that stuff. But I just love the idea. The sequel stalled due to Avery's imprisonment. You don't see that on the background of a lot of movies.
You really don't.
But I will say, I haven't listened to. I've only seen excerpts from it. But MJ Bassett was on a podcast called The Movie Crypt back in 2018, and I guess got really into the issues making this movie. And one of the big things was the 3D and how limiting it is to shoot in 3D. She was talking about there was a lot of, can we shoot from this angle? Oh, no, that doesn't work for 3D. Oh, can we move you can't move the camera. We got to get the 3D effect. So, like,
it sounds like it was a complete fucking nightmare.
We can't light it that way. So there was just a lot of like, get rid of all that stuff from the shot list. Get rid of, and from the sound of it, she was just like, I was just trying to sort of be like, okay, well, I'll work with you guys. You want to do this? I'm just trying to, I just work here. And she apologized. She said, if you were a fan of the game, I'm sorry that this movie turned out the way it did. It's unfortunate. But yeah, and like you talk about, it really does. I think the reason I thought it was some kind of reboot is it's trying to do both, kind of like you were talking about. It's trying to be like, can we make a sequel to the movie that's also bringing in more of the game stuff? But unfortunately, what that does is lots of parts of the movie, I'm like, wait, what? Or even when they explain it, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Because it ends up like retconning a bunch of shit from the first movie and not explaining why that is super well.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm wondering because MJ Bassett also wrote the script for this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering if some of the limitations of the 3D stuff and throwing out shot lists, like, I'm wondering if that made like having to like do rewrites kind of on the fly a little bit because of like things that they couldn't shoot. And I'm wondering if that also didn't help in terms of the story being kind of incomprehensible.
That would make complete sense because it's just everything about this movie feels compromised, right? And the fact that this is a $25 million movie. I think the first one was what, like 40 or so? Something I can't remember. Let me look here. I've got it. 50. So this is literally half of what. Christ. And yet, I think in some ways is trying to be more ambitious, especially with some of the set piece stuff in this, because it does feel like gotta be. I don't hear anyone say it, but gotta be a mandate from the studio is ratchet the energy up in this one.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
There's
the first one was very low key.
Because this thing is a half hour shorter. Number one. One of the things we talked about the last one is I can't believe it's 2 hours.
Interminable.
But yet this one still, I think, is kind of a slog even at 90 minutes.
Yeah, the pacing is kind of all over the place. There were definitely moments. I just watched this morning, actually.
Yeah.
And was one of those movies where I was really struggling to pay attention sometimes because all of a sudden it would slow down and then there would be so much like action, like things yelling and so many things moving, and then I'm like, okay, well, wait, where are we? What are we doing?
I was telling you this before we started recording that I was watching this yesterday and similarly having trouble paying attention, and then I was like, I better look up and see if I missed anything. No.
No, you didn't.
I was just like, either it was exactly what I thought it was, or no, it didn't make sense and they didn't explain that. Okay, great. I didn't miss anything.
Yep.
Like
100%.
If you were actually to just lay out the individual beats of the plot, it is so incredibly simple. But
yeah, and it weirdly follows except for one very glaring thing, but follows the kind of simple beat plots from the game from Silent Hill 3, but makes way less sense because of all of the other shit that had to be in it.
There's a lot of stuff where, but like you're talking about, a lot of it moves quickly, but weirdly in places where I'm like, whoa, you can't just skip over that. What is that?
Hold on.
I mean, that Rhoda Mitchell scene that we talked about briefly is a prime example of that, where she basically just, because we start the movie with, what was the name of the girl from the first? I mean, obviously we came to know she was Alessa, but she was...
okay, so Sharon, now Heather.
Because we start with the idea that this is years later, she's now a teenager, and she and her father, Sean Bean, have been on the run, assuming different identities, going town to town, and she has no memory of the first film beyond she was in a car crash.
Yes.
Which is an interesting thing, because I kept going like, well, what is he telling her about why they're on the run then? Including that, I love the flashback to like, oh yeah, and that time I had to murder a guy in front of you.
Yeah, he did kill a guy. Like, that probably made it a little bit easier.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, thank God. Oh, yeah, we have to be on the run because I killed that guy. It's okay, though.
Boy, if you felt Sean Bean didn't have much to do in the first movie, oh boy, God, does he have nothing to do in this one.
But at least he spends most of it just chained to a weird statue instead of running around doing fuck all.
It's true. At least he doesn't have his own random subplot that comes to nothing. He is just like, oh, I hope my daughter comes and saves me. Along with my... But
also, I hope she doesn't...
turn into a elder god or something.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
So we start with them on the, and this was what threw me. This is, and I think another thing, having not seen this, I was like, why the fuck is Sean Bean playing a different character in this? He's not. It's just he's credited as a different name.
Yes.
But yeah, Rod, we
the
have
character, the name, which is the character that he should have been in the first place.
Right. Yes. They now give him his proper name. Part of, once again, this thing where you can definitely sense MJ Bassett's attempts to be like, let me try to get back to the games. I that's why I kind of feel bad for her in a lot of ways, because I do feel like she's coming in with the intention of like, I'm going to try to satisfy the audience that was disappointed by the first movie, which is a good impulse, but I'm assuming just because the studio's like, yeah, but it's still got to be a sequel, though, because that movie...
It still has to be a sequel.
Did technically make money. But yeah, so now Heather, as she's known in this, is played by Adelaide Clemens, who's an Australian actress who I've seen be very good in things. She's really neither good nor bad. She's just what character is there to play here?
And unfortunately, any like character that Heather had in the games, they purposefully stripped here to be, I guess, more realistic is what they say. It like is what it says in the Wikipedia, but like I don't know. Heather is like very snarky and what's the word I'm looking for? Like just snarky and like kind of like bristly towards people in the game. There's none of that here.
I think the only moment she has a little bit of that is that scene where, by the way, the most one of the shittiest teachers I've ever seen, like is like, introduce yourself.
Tell us your life story, Heather.
Because it's just like, I'm Heather, I'm new here. It's like, that's not enough. More detail. That's kind of the only scene where she then is like, oh, you want to hear it? Hear it. That's the only scene that I can think of that's kind of like that.
Kind of. But even then, it's very, like, just, it's more placid and, like, just uninterested more than, like, kind of lashing out.
Yeah, she feels checked out for a lot of it, which as an audience member makes me not want to follow her as a protagonist.
It makes me feel a little bit checked out too, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, especially when it becomes so much about we have to save Sean Bean. I'm like, boy, I barely have any sense of your relationship with him beyond just he's your father and he's. I mean, I guess you could argue it's very impactful that he was willing to kill somebody to protect you, but also then that leads to my whole thing about like, who is this Didn't everybody die at the end of the first movie? I thought we killed all the bad guys.
No, apparently not. The rest of them were hiding.
I mean, boy, you want to talk about feeling bad. I have to feel so bad about Carrie-Anne Moss and this god-awful wig.
Oh, my God.
What is she doing? I love Carrie-Anne Moss.
She's so, like, yeah, did she have, like, parking tickets or something that she needed to pay off? I don't know.
She needed a new kitchen or something? I don't know.
Something.
It really is just like, everybody else, according to the Wikipedia, was contracted to do this. Your Radha Mitchells and your Sean Beans had to come back. I love the thing about, apparently they gave Sean Bean the script and he goes...
And he was like,
what? Why do I have a different
name?
Yeah. I don't actually see, like getting the script and going, I don't actually see my character in here. Where are my lines? Oh, I'm Harry?
Oh, I'm Harry? Okay, sure.
I think my favorite thing from the trivia, though, is, and we'll get to 30-year-old high schooler Kit Harrington. He's already on Game of Thrones at this point.
He's already, like, buddy. Did Sean like, he was like, listen, I need a friend. Yeah. I need somebody on here with me. I need somebody I know here.
I like working with this Kit Harrington guy. You want to put him in this too, and we'll have, because he is.
And then Kit was like, I will never forgive you for this, old man.
No, this is a real low point on this guy's ascent here. But I love the piece of trivia that he tried to play the games for research, but quit because they were too scary for him, which is adorable to begin with.
Adorable.
But then also that he said, it didn't matter anyway, though, because my character has nothing to do with his game equivalent.
Oh, my God.
But also, who cares?
I love everything about Sean Bean's involvement with these movies.
It doesn't matter. Like, everybody is just so... I mean, Sean Bean does seem like a guy who's just like, fine.
Sure. Okay.
This movie, though, has, and we'll get to him later, one of my favorite actors, but is a guy who is so openly like this in his career, is Malcolm McDowell. A guy who, I remember reading an interview a couple years ago where he goes, I do not care about the quality of films I'm in. This is my job. I need to make money for my family, so I just take work. If it's good, great. If not, who cares? I went to work.
I mean, it's clear. It's not surprising. I think should not be surprising to anybody. Freaking Island of the Dead or whatever, where he like gets eaten by flies or some shit.
He's a guy who
remakes, which I know that I am like the biggest hater of. But
I will say, and actually, I will say it in this movie too. I really do like him in the Halloween remakes, and I actually think he's one of the better performances in this for what little he's in this. In that he has some energy to him. I mean, Malcolm McDowell is bringing that Royal Shakespeare Company training with him everywhere he goes. He does. I mean, he does his job. He earns his money. I will say
he does. Listen, nobody is contesting. Nobody's gonna audit him for not putting in a day's work.
Not remotely. Although I do feel bad that apparently the contacts they gave him in this caused him serious eye problems for years after this.
No.
I'm just like, man, for Silent Hill Revelation, he takes a like debilitating eye injury. Also, in today's, I mean, I guess maybe just because of the money, but I'm like, we couldn't have CG'd that. You're gonna put those contacts in an old man's eyes, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's going for it though. But then I'm sure he was also thrilled to be like, yeah, just turn me into a CGI monster. Then that's fine. Whatever.
All I have to do is rattle around some chains for a little bit. Yeah, okay.
I've done that. I've been there, done that. We were just talking about Time After Time before this, which he's fucking amazing. I will say, one of the wildest careers in that he has some of the most iconic and beloved movies and some of the absolute worst movies I've ever seen on his IMDb. And
I mean, speaking of Dr. Loomis, it's kind of a similar thing with
Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance.
It's actually, I would say it's pretty, because like a Michael Caine has stuff like that too. A lot of those classically trained Brits, they don't, it's weird, they're not precious about the work in a weird way that I think people would think they would be. But when it comes to particularly like film and television, they does sort of just go like, hey, I gotta get paid, man.
Yeah. And I will say that like,
or Sean Bean.
Or Sean Bean. Yeah. I will say there is a kind of I do have a kind of respect for it because in what very little, really, if you think about it, acting I've done, the thought, like, being able to hone your craft, like trying to find what you can do with a part, regardless of what it's in, like that makes sense to me as like, like, oh, well, okay, yeah, it's this weird this video game movie that I don't really know anything about, but like, okay, I have this character. I can make choices with this.
Yeah.
Like, I can do my job and do a good job with this, whether or not everything else is going to be good.
I mean, I think that is I think it's Michael Caine. If I'm wrong, somebody will let me know. But I believe he has the quote is the key to being an actor is you can be in bad movies, but never to be bad in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
absolutely,
that's it. And I think all these guys, Bean and McDowell, they're doing what they can with the material. I think Harrington, who I like and stuff, is rough here. That accent's pretty rough.
I mean, Sean, everybody's accent. Like Sean bad. Bean at one point, there's like one or two lines in the beginning where he's talking to Heather, and I'm like, that's just your regular ass voice. Like that's a. You just like sound like Shrek right now.
I've seen him in a lot of stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him pull off an American accent in anything.
Not even like I'm trying to think. Like
he rarely even tries one. Actually, in a lot of his work.
It's true.
I mean, I can't say I've seen everything because another guy that works a lot, but at least in like his big things, he's usually British or Irish or something. Or as I said on the Prince of Persia episode, or has an adventure accent. Which
is he in that?
In Lord of the or not? No, so I was saying that about Jake Gyllenhaal's accent in that,
okay.
But that's an accent that I call it the adventure accent. It's a default accent for any fantasy movie, right? Where you're just like we're all just pseudo British in whether that be a Lord of the Rings or something like that. No, he's not. I'm actually shocked he's not in Prince of Persia. It seems like something he would have done. That's got though very much in the Malcolm McDowell camp. That does have Ben Kingsley. Who has never met a paycheck he won't take.
Yep.
And it's just... and surprise, surprise, he's the bad guy.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, Ben Kingsley's here? Yeah, he's going to double-cross everybody.
He's going to be the evil guy.
But yeah, so the beginning of this movie, the thing I was thinking of my initial review of the movie was, did you like the first film but wish it had more carnival imagery? Because that's where we start too. We start with creepy carnival imagery, but I will say even just from moment one of like the creepy carousel stuff, I went like, "Ooh, we have less money, don't we?" And it just everything feels a little cheaper.
Like, and it sort of comes across in like kind of the production design as well as. Honestly, the lighting makes it look cheap. Weirdly, like everything feels too bright.
Yes, it does, and I think that's also a 3D thing because the 3D projectors darken the movie, right? And then further, the glasses darken it. So we're watching it not in 3D, so it's too bright, which is not great for the atmosphere of this kind of movie. Whatever issues we had with Gann's directing, I think the cinematography of the first film was pretty good.
Oh, the cinematography and production design of the first one was like spot on.
Yeah, that was sort of the problem. Was like they nailed all the aesthetics and then blew everything else. But
and this just blew everything.
This thing's just a mess. It's just such a mess. This thing was shot in Cambridge, Ontario.
I noticed that because I noticed one of the buses had a French like the back of it said stop and then below it said c'était, whatever the Quebecois equivalent.
I missed that. That's one of those things that could have been an easy CG fix if anybody was bothering to but whatever, as we talk about who were any of these accents from. This is an interesting piece of trivia I see here too is MJ Bassett put up online took fan suggestions for who to cast. But then didn't use any of them.
Didn't, yeah, because and like I read something that like because people were suggesting like, oh, just cast like people from the games, and she was like, well, that's not very creative.
That's not a thing we do, really. I just love this idea. Like they took all these things and it's like, and then they picked Adelaide Clemens. Yeah, some fans suggested Donna Burke, who had provided the voice and motion capture. I don't know if that would have been better.
Yeah,
like it. I mean,
it's hard to know.
I understand, and as a fan of things, I too have like championed. Like, dude, why don't you just use the people from the game or from the, animation? And I mean, look, they've a couple times they have done that, and it's worked to varying degrees. I don't. Yeah, it's not. I don't know that it would have worked. Nothing was going to save this movie.
No, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like at the end of the day, I'm not sure if anything other than like more money and a page one rewrite would have
because we
done
get
anything for this.
We get this whole thing, and immediately, not only am I like, Kit Harington's a full-grown adult in this high school. He was 26 when I see here when it came out. So yeah, and he looks it. He looks. He just because you're just like, oh well, yeah. There's Jon Snow. And he's in a cool leather jacket. Because I guess
everybody is wearing like this is so 2010s. Like I noticed this when he gave his coat to Heather. Is like he gave her his overcoat, and he's also wearing a leather jacket, and then he's wearing another thing under the leather jacket, and then under that is his shirt.
Yeah, layers on layers on layers.
Layers on layers on layers.
Yeah,
so 2010s.
Yeah, and he's cast to smolder, which he does, I guess, but immediately I have questions. What ends up being the case is I have so many questions about, but initially I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy's deal that he's so the scene when they're on the bus and she's just like, hey, do you think there's a difference between dreams and reality?
Like this is not like nobody and like okay, the Silent Hill games are classic, are iconic for like having people speak so weirdly and say like the weirdest shit, but like no one talks like this, and they're not even in Silent Hill yet. So
no, when we talked about the games have that thing that I find very charming in a lot of stuff where it is the American characters filtered through Japanese creators and then dubbed back into English. Where you're like, you're going through like 3 levels and it just gets weird in an unnatural state. Here, though, you're just like, man, once again, trying to imagine being an actor and like, how do I approach? And then I swear, does he then go, yeah, are you on Facebook? Like, I swear, like that's the dialogue exchange is just like, or maybe it's the reverse. Maybe he says, are you on Facebook? And then she's like, are dreams and reality different things? He goes, oh, that's interesting. You're just like,
well, I think at first he says like, wow, so much for small talk.
Yeah, I think it is something like that. But then he just immediately like this, how much he is just rolling with her whole deal. And then of course,
like as soon as he responds with like, yeah, there's this like in my hometown, there's this guy who like said a bunch of weird shit, and then they locked him up in an insane asylum, and she's like, that's crazy, and he's like, yeah, my mom was the one who did it.
Because we will come to find out that he is the son of the sister of the villain from the first movie. Is that correct? Yeah. Because Carrie-Anne Moss is the sister of Alice Krieg's villain woman from the first.
Christabella.
Yeah.
Because in this she plays. God, it's so hard to keep it straight because like trying to hold the game information as well as the movie continuity is like just fucks with my head so much. Claudia. Okay, so she plays Claudia, who is the villain from the Silent Hill 3 game.
Okay.
Who was in the game's continuity was childhood friends with Alessa.
Okay.
And she was like jealous of Alessa because she wanted to be the one to birth the cult's god, like I discussed in the other episode.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then, but then he just immediately, like, this, how much he is just rolling with her whole deal. And then of course, yeah,
Yeah,
So what is your deal in this? What is endgame for Claudia in this movie?
So in the movie continuity, it's that Christabella from the first movie was like leading this like religious order that burned witches because they were very like, Christian based.
Right.
But actually it was a cult that did want to bring this weird nasty god into existence.
Right.
And now now it is that Alessa was burned so that could happen. It's pulling more from the game.
Right.
Thus making it not comprehensible, unfortunately.
That's the okay. That's the thing, right? They're trying. So in this, they're trying to. They want. I mean, I understand that they want Alessa / Heather.
Yes.
I follow that because she is capable of giving birth to this god being thing, but they don't want that to happen, or do they want that? What I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is what watching the movie is like, listeners. If you haven't watched it, it really is just it was a lot of me going.
It's a lot of this.
What does she want? Yeah.
Okay. So as far as this movie is concerned, because again, right, the first movie was like, oh, we are puritanical, blah blah blah. We're burning witches,
right,
burning people for witchcraft or whatever. So, but as far as this one is concerned, Alessa being burned and it kind of like it either created psychic powers or like she already had innate powers, and being burned, it like instead of it working and like her being able to bring this being into existence, she was like, actually, fuck y'all, and created this torturous existence for everybody who did this to her.
Right.
So like their plan went awry. So they and Alessa like kind of released a part of herself so that
because
something
we had the whole thing in the first movie where she had basically split into two beings, right?
Yes, correct. And her expelling Heather was like getting rid of a part of herself so that she could leave Silent Hill in a way.
Because that's what we get, by the way, we should mention with that, the whole Rhoda Mitchell thing is, of course, people remember at the end of the movie was that they were still trapped in Silent Hill at the end of the movie.
Correct.
But this movie adds this real quick thing where Rhoda Mitchell is able to break through into the real world and tell Sean Bean, hey, I found a way to get our daughter out of here. I can't get myself out, but just take care of our daughter.
Right. That's a different thing, though, as far as this movie is concerned, because she had the seal of Metatron, which is a thing in the game. It does a different thing, though. She had half of this seal of Metatron.
Right, not the full
thing.
And
not the whole thing, and that's how she was able to get Sharon out.
Right.
And that's like Sharon was originally separated from Alessa as a being.
Right.
Well, as far as the movies are concerned, again, it's different in the game. Like,
yeah. And this movie is trying to have it both ways, which is
just
a fool's errand.
It's just not possible.
No, this thing either needed to it really needed to pick a lane, right? It really needed to either be completely a sequel to the first movie or just be a reboot. It's a real weird it's a weird this is a very strange comparison, but it's in my world it makes sense, which is it's the Superman Returns thing where Bryan Singer tried to make a new Superman movie that was also somehow a third movie to the two Donner movies, and you're like,
Yeah.
Wait, what? But there's things that work about it, but not. But I mean, it's not as directly. That actually works a little bit better because it's not directly continuing. But it is still this weird thing about like trying to do a new thing within a continuity. It's just tough. It's just It's a losing principle. And Bassett does, and I'll give her credit for. Even though she's talking about the problem, she still takes the blame for that. She was like, I was wrong to try to do that.
Yeah, which is, like, hey, it's a lot more than a lot of directors do.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I always respect a filmmaker who's like, hey, man, I tried something. Didn't go. Sorry,
Sorry.
I heard Sam Raimi apologize for Spider-Man 3. And another thing where I'm like, well, I know there was a lot of studio meddling, but he's just like, no, that was me. I blew it. Don't, sorry. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Fair enough. But yeah, okay. So I don't think we still have gotten to what does Claudia want?
She wants this god. This cult is like, they believe that the world is like a lost cause. Essentially, it's corrupt and it's full of suffering, and they want to create paradise by bringing this god into existence.
Okay.
And the reason that... Now, it doesn't seem... It's not super clear in the movie, but in the book... Or, sorry, the game...
Mm-hmm.
My brain is completely fried from thinking about all of this.
Well, how could it not be?
Because Heather, as the reincarnation of Alessa, was taken out of Silent Hill and raised as, a normal child who wasn't constantly suffering.
Right.
She believes that Heather won't be able to. She's like, hates Harry for stealing away her best friend, and also is like, well, this paradise I'm trying to create won't happen if Heather is not like full of hatred and suffering.
Right.
So that's why she wants Heather back.
Okay. All right.
And it seems to be kind of similar, just like the motivations are not as clear because of the kind of mixing up of the continuity in the movie.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing about it. When the movie starts, everybody's talking about this cult. This cult's after them, and I'm like,
what cult?
Yeah, because I was like, there was sort of the Puritan people that were the Alice Krieg's group in the first movie, but they all died, and so I'm going like, what was there? There didn't. I mean, beyond being trapped in Silent Hill, there didn't appear to be an omnipresent threat at the end of the first movie. That this movie suddenly acts like, oh, of course there is.
Yes, and that is because this cult is from the third game.
Right, and so, but she's the sister...
Well, technically it's from both games, but they are more omnipresent in the...
So, Carrie-Anne Moss is the sister of Alice Krieg's character, but has basically the opposite intention.
Yes.
Okay.
But they are pretending that it was the same intention all along.
That's the thing that really makes it...
They're pretending that Alice Krieg was trying to do the same thing that Carrie-Anne Moss is doing, which she, of course, was not.
That's the thing that threw me. That's the thing that just... I mean, that's just like... I very rarely would say this, but like, you just can't do that. That's not okay. Apparently you can, John. I mean, apparently you can, but then guess what? People don't go to your movie, or if they do, they're like, wait, what?
They're like, whoa, this was confusing and not very good.
And it's kind of like, but it is sort of one of those things. By trying to do both things, they've made a movie for no one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, I can't imagine. Yeah, if you love the first movie, you're going to hate that they changed stuff. And if you love the game, you're going to be like, well, why include anything?
You're not going to see this movie in the first place.
No, I think they had alienated the Silent Hill fan base enough that they weren't going to this thing. I do see here that it didn't even get theatrical release in some markets.
That does not surprise me.
No, I mean, it honestly, aside from the 3D of it all, if you had told me this was a straight-to-video movie, I would have been like, yeah, I see that. If this had aired on Sci-Fi Channel, I'd be like, mm-hmm. Aside from some of the names in it are a little too big for Sci-Fi Channel. Which I don't, once again, though they could have been. I mean, it's only $25 million. How much is a Carrie-Anne Moss getting paid for this?
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, look, I understand. Like, to me, and to nerds like she's a big fucking deal because she's Trinity. But she's got enough. I mean, she's not like the biggest star, but she's got enough cachet to not be in this.
Right? Like, and also like. I mean, The Matrix was like a worldwide phenomenon. Like,
hugely. Yeah. I mean, look, I mean, she was.
I don't know.
I mean, she's doing fine. She was in a Star Wars, and she's a Marvel character, and she's all right. It's not, but it is just like that. She of anyone, being McDowell, I'm used to seeing in shit. She was the one where I was like, oh no, don't drag Trinity into this. How could you?
How could you?
Yeah, that was the one where I was, and I mean, I will say, similarly, I don't think she worked much because she's mostly just in those scenes going like, ha ha ha, I'm doing evil.
Right, because you do find out that she was the kind of like off-brand Cenobite looking character, but I don't think that was her doing that.
Oh no, certainly not. She did have to shave her eyebrows for this role, which is another thing where I was just like, for this movie. Oh, for this movie? It's also a weird use of her. I mean, she plays certain kinds of characters, and this one is kind of like, like weird witch lady? Okay. Because I'm used to her being like, a badass and stuff. And she can play other stuff, certainly, but like, no one should have to play this part.
Nobody should have to be Claudia in this movie.
And then, okay, so let's get to, we haven't actually talked about Kit Harington's character, Vincent.
Yeah.
And his whole deal. Because he is Claudia's son, right?
Yes, and he is her son in the games, but he kind of is, it's weird that they decided to make him a love interest, because Vincent is like an actual adult, one, and two.
Yeah, okay.
Not like a good like a good guy.
Okay, because he is he is an agent of the cult here, but immediately on her side, on Alessa's side, or on Heather's side.
Yeah,
Alessa and Heather are the same person, but also
Alessa,
not.
Heather, Sharon.
Yeah, they're all the same person, but not.
But not. Importantly, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, he is just right with her.
Instantly ready to abandon everything he's ever known. Deprogrammed by a pretty face.
I was just gonna say, is it just because she's hot? Is that it?
That seems to be.
Oh man, she's really attractive. Fuck that. I'm not gonna hurt.
I think my mom's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh my god. Now that I see there are other people in the world. Oh shit.
Yeah, Vincent is not, if I'm remembering, is not hugely present in the game. There is a scene where Heather talks to him. He doesn't like attack her outright or anything, but he is like, and I think you do get the option to kill him. Don't quote me on that though. But he's like a kind of a creep.
Okay. Whereas here he is just pure of heart, eyes. Which is so weird. Yeah. And I guess that makes sense why Kit Harington's like, yeah, I didn't finish the games, but who cares? Because I would have learned nothing from them for my character. Yeah,
I was barely in it.
Well, I mean, then that's the thing about it, and then he ends up also just once he's turned on the cult, he ends up just also kidnapped with Sean Bean.
Yeah,
because eventually we do just kind of get back to retreading the first movie because they kidnap Harry. / Christopher / Sean Bean / Boromir / the bad guy from Patriot Games /
the bad guy from National Treasure,
insert bad guy from any number of franchises here Goldeneye, but they kidnap him and they leave presumably in blood written on the wall. Go to Silent Hill. Whose blood is that? Because he doesn't seem harmed.
Unclear.
It's also, and I saw some people point this out in scanning some of the reviews. The most evenly, perfectly written blood on the wall.
dripping at a very consistent rate.
Like you get the sense of they that took them a couple hours to get it to look just perfect, like Halloween installation.
The kerning, impeccable.
Yeah. Also, here's a question I had about that: who took him?
Right? Like, because as we hear Kit Harrington say, a few people can leave Silent Hill at a time, but it requires sacrifice.
Right.
So how many people did they let out along with Kit Harrington? Did 2 people kidnap Sean Bean?
Yeah, because it would seem like it would take a couple guys probably to bring down a Sean Bean, who we just, in that flashback scene, saw kill one of these guys pretty easily. I mean, he's willing to throw down.
And also, it begs the question, right? We see, technically, okay. I was going to say, we see, right, that off-brand Cenobite kill the PI and, like, appear in the mall.
By the way.
But, like, technically...
I was going to say, Martin Donovan. What the fuck, man?
And again, the PI has way more to do in the game. So
I thought he was going to be a big character because Martin Donovan is like a character actor who's in a ton of shit. And then, fuck, he's dead. And don't worry, though. His fingers do get sliced off and come right at the camera. Folks.
And come right at you.
Yeah, and it looks so realistic. It looks real
Very
good.
real.
Real good.
I believed that his fingers were gone.
Oh, yeah. Those looked like real fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, good, get out of here, Martin Donovan. You're better than this. But I was just like, why bother to cast anyone of any note? Anyway, yeah, so it's that character who's killed instantly.
But yeah, so technically not Dahlia, other one, Claudia. Technically Claudia, but she technically has not left Silent Hill because the other world manifested. So that's technically Silent Hill, so I think that one doesn't count. But again, unclear.
Mm-hmm.
And unclear with how they have set up the whole, like, you can't leave Silent Hill except for a couple people maybe can to go kidnap Sean Bean.
And then the thing that really undercuts the Rhoda Mitchell sacrifice of staying there, right? It's like, well, people can just come and go. Then why couldn't she get out? And then at the end of this movie, when Sean Bean's like, I've got to stay and get my wife out of here, you're like, well, you should be able to do that in about 10 minutes based on what we've seen in this movie.
Mm-hmm. But no, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, it's very vague, and it's purely for convenience, right? It's just like, oh well, somebody had to kidnap Sean Bean and get him to Silent Hill. So at a certain point, we just get now the 2 of them are in Silent Hill, and then we're really back to the stuff I found boring about the first movie, which is just a lot of wandering around,
and not a whole lot happening until. Also, my favorite part was like when Heather's in the mannequin factory and she just finds some random chick who then also dies immediately. Like, what was the fucking point of that?
And it's just kind of like, weird. Like,
and she just never thinks about it. It's like, oh well, she's gone. I can forget about her.
It's once again, it's the closest to like scary this movie kind of gets is that woman turning into a mannequin. It's like, oh, that's disturbing in concept.
Yeah.
And it really does just feel like, because that's like a thing from the games. Is it?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
No,
so
I think this mannequin creature was a creation of freaking Patrick Tutopoulos. Yeah, because like there are mannequin monsters in Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
But it's 2 mannequin like not torsos. Like a mannequin from like the hips waist down.
Okay.
It's 2 of those stacked on top of each other.
Oh, that's way creepier.
It's got legs for arms and legs for legs.
That's way creepier.
Yeah.
Well, then I really don't understand it because not being familiar with the games, I assume they only spent as much time on this effect as they did because it must be a nod to the games. And if it's not, then I really don't understand.
No, big mannequin spider.
Because nothing.
Yeah.
Then it really is just the scene is just like we need scary things to chase her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the other big thing in this movie, and I remember it in like once again seeing the trailers for this in front of other stuff. The big thing in this movie is the nurses. Which
yeah,
that
again,
is a thing.
Silent Hill 2. That
yeah.
is a James Sunderland monster because he was cheating on his wife while she was like dying of cancer. So those are kind of like manifestations of like a kind of combination, like that kind of thing. Like,
right, we talked a lot about that on the last episode. That so much of the imagery was very specific to that storyline and that character. That now is just kind of like, oh well, why is it here then?
Yeah, and especially like going real hard on the Pyramid Head stuff and like completely changing what Pyramid Head is.
I mean, it's like we talked about. He's the poster. It is just like the studio is just like Pyramid Head. That's our star. Head. He's the fan favorite, and he's all over especially like the third act of this movie. He is all over it.
All Pyramid Head all the time.
They just know that's the mascot of Silent Hill. And to be fair to the studio, that is about the only thing I know from the games is that design. It's pretty iconic.
It's pretty iconic. It then begs the question, why aren't we doing Silent Hill 2 as the movie then?
It's a weird. This movie's just a mess. And then by the end of it, okay, I'm not sure I understand the end of this. I need to work through the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Because
I'm here for you, buddy.
All right, thank you. Because the whole thing, once eventually they've got Harrington and Bean, so this whole thing is just building up to a confrontation, right, with Heather and Claudia. But first, she has to face her other side of herself, right, as Alessa. All right, let's go from there. Because that's where we're back to the amusement park stuff. All right. So I actually have the IMDb plot description open because I have to remind myself. I watched this yesterday and it's already leaving my brain.
I finished watching it at like 1:15.
Yes.
And it's
about 2 hours ago.
To stay in there.
Yeah, about 2 hours ago. It really is. There's not much to grab onto here. All right. And basically, I mean, it's a classic thing, right? If she has to absorb Alessa, right? Or it's sort of the idea about, and I mean, and we've seen a bunch of movies like this where it's like, oh, I have to meet my own darkness and accept that. I mean, that's all fine. It just feels very like, oh, of course, we just have to do that in this movie, though. So when she ends up, and we get we get Carrie-Anne Moss monologuing about the stuff we were talking about earlier. Okay, so I want to get to the seal of Metatron.
Okay.
What is up with that?
Okay, so the seal of Metatron.
And by the way, I think I only know Metatron because it's Alan Rickman plays Metatron in Dogma.
Well, yeah, because that's a figure in like Christian.
Yeah, as a biblical.
I won't say mythology because in Christian mythology.
Yeah, he's an archangel, and at least once again, my knowledge of that stuff comes from Dogma, in that he is the voice of God. I don't know how much that's. Yeah. I think that is from the Bible because that movie's entirely made up of Kevin Smith's Catholic education.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
So the seal, because that ends up. We talked about earlier the having half of the seal of Metatron got Radha Mitchell to get Heather out of the Silent Hill realm, and then here it ends up being key to defeating Claudia.
Yeah.
Why and how are my questions. I understand what happens. I can't understand why it happens.
Right.
That's the stuff I struggle with.
That's.
Because let's see what it says here. Yeah, Heather gives Claudia the seal of Metatron, revealing her to be okay. Yeah, here's another term that gets thrown a lot: the missionary.
I think that is like specific to this film.
Yeah,
that is the off-brand Cenobite is the missionary.
Right, and that's just sort of a thing that's around.
Yes, because she kills Douglas, the PI.
Right. And that is Claudia?
Yes.
Okay.
It is revealed that she is this creature.
So she's
instead it's the point of it here is like, because she's like, oh, I am the head of this order. I am like the Holy One. I am not corrupted by all of this stuff. And it's like, this is to reveal that she is, in fact, because all the cult members, right, they're like, they see this transformation and they're like, oh shit.
Right.
Like, and they start running away.
Everybody turns on her instantly at that, or, you know, I mean, they run away. Yeah. They're like, oh, we've been lied to. Now, okay. I want to back up for just a second, though. What does Malcolm McDowell have to do with any of this? Because he's Carrie-Anne Moss's father.
Yes, that is also from the game. So he is Leonard Wolf. Her father was again unclear why she locked him up in this movie.
Okay.
It just seems that, you know, he was like, oh, she betrayed me and she's the worst.
Right.
In the game, it is because he was abusive, like an abusive father.
Yeah.
So she like locks him up.
Boy, that's that simple an answer, and we couldn't get that in this movie. Like, if they had just been because he abused me, I would have been like, got it. Instead, yeah, I'm just like, what is his deal? He seems to be against her, kind. I mean, or like I said, she locked him up, so he has a vendetta against her. But like, I don't know where he aligns. Once again, trying to figure out anyone's ideology in this movie is impossible.
Yeah, because it's all over the place.
Right. And so, yeah, you just go like, well, I get that he's pissed, but like, yeah, why did she lock him up? And that seems like a bad idea, because then when he gets the chance, he turns into a monster or whatever.
Yeah.
What does he turn into?
He does turn into a monster. Blah.
Oh, I also forgot that they also dragged poor Deborah Kara Unger back into this for one scene as Alessa's mother.
Yeah.
For not much beyond, she just is there to be like, oh, this woman's now trying to do the thing. Look out.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. I was like, why can't I remember what the seal of Metatron does in the fucking game? And unfortunately, that's because it's kind of nothing.
Oh, that adds up. I mean, it's kind of nothing here. It's important
to the
plot, but also nothing.
It's okay, so like
I gotta say, these are the loopiest episodes of this season, are trying to figure out Silent Hill shit.
Yeah, it seems to that's right. It doesn't quite work the way that Heather thinks it's going to. Because Claudia is like, oh, that's a piece of junk. Right. But there is something in the game that is like, oh, it has magical protective and dispelling properties, and it can help awaken your inner self.
Right.
But then, like, when she tries to use it, it doesn't quite work.
Because here it does, right? I mean, because it's the seal of Metatron
here it reveals
she's the missionary.
Yeah.
And then don't worry though, because that avenging angel Pyramid Head shows up.
Yeah, comes up and he gets him.
Yeah, with that big old sword that's his thing. And boy, I hope you love the poster. Because they deliver on it. He swings it right at the audience, folks. Look out! Yep. You'll be ducking from it. And then that just kind of is like, that's kind of the. I mean, they're just like,
just kind of it.
Yeah. Hey, good. All right. Because once again, the reveal that she's the missionary. Don't have to worry about the rest of the cult. They're all out of there anyway. These people were that big as zealots for this whole thing. And then that reveal, they're just like, fuck it. Our whole lives were pointless then.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. Yeah. So then.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, she was alive the whole time. I'm like, I kind of need a movie about what becomes of those people now. But what do I do? I devoted my whole life to this cult now, and it was all a lie. Oh, jeez. They're like, great. Okay, so then once again, they're like, great. We can just leave Silent Hill. And how are they leaving Silent? I mean, was the curse broken because of this?
Yeah. Yeah, like right, Heather, and the sound mixing on this last bit of them in Silent Hill is fucking awful. I had to like strain so hard to hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
That Heather has like a line where she's like, "Oh, I think things are gonna be different around here."
always a great, just like generic end of movie line. That's right up there with "Let's go home" are the two lines that should just be banned from the end of film. But yeah, she's like, okay, we can leave now. But Sean Bean's like, whoa. You guys go ahead, because I guess now that the cult is undone, I've got to go find my wife, Rhoda Mitchell. Don't worry. You'll see me in the absolutely, definitely going to happen third Silent Hill movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Leonard was... like, I guess he became kind of mentally unstable and stabbed somebody, and that's why he was institutionalized.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. It's like there's trying to hold so much information. I'm trying to process an insane, a massive amount of insane information.
That's the thing about this movie. I was saying, like, it's incredibly simple what's happening, but so convoluted in how it's portrayed and told to you that you're like, you think the movie's more complicated than it is. It really is just this cult wants this girl. And then they get her, and she exposes that the cult is a lie, and it's over.
And then it's over.
It's just that's the whole movie. But there's so many things where you're like, yeah, but why did they? And how did they? And then it's like, why are you asking questions of me? Stop it. So they leave, and I'm only now just learning that this guy they meet is a character from the games.
Yeah, so the trucker they meet is the main character of Silent Hill Origins, which is a prequel to the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm forgetting his name now.
It's Travis Grady.
Travis Grady.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole thing is, I didn't play this game, and I kind of forgot it existed. He like saved somebody from a fire, but I don't know what happens. Like, I don't know what his Silent Hill deal is. And then again, if you're not a fan of Silent Hill games, the last shot of this movie is fucking baffling. Where there is a police car and a prison transfer bus heading into Silent Hill, and it just lingers on that. So that is the prison, supposedly. Again, that's probably what they were setting up for the next one, is that prison bus contains the main character of Silent Hill Downpour. Fuck, I can't remember this guy's name.
I can't help you. I wish I could. Murphy Pendleton?
Murphy. I was like, it starts with an M.
Okay,
and I'm
literally on a Wikipedia list for characters of Silent Hill.
So Murphy.
Yeah.
And that's maybe what the third one was. I don't know. It's nothing. But it's nothing.
No, I mean, all I saw was like, ooh, prison transport bus in Silent Hill. I guess that'd be bad news in another movie. But I don't. I'm not going like Yeah,
exactly.
But nothing is set up about that. It's not like anyone's been talking about this prison bus earlier in the movie or mentioning this character or something. So it is the worst kind of like fan servicey Easter egg where you're just like, huh?
Yeah, and like you would almost think that because there is like a 2-second subplot about the police trying to find Heather in the movie, like. It's like for a second you could almost think that the police have tracked her to Silent Hill and now they're gonna like be looking for her, but that's also nothing.
Yeah, that would have been something. I mean, that would have been something, but no, it's just all blah. Yeah. I mean, it actually makes a lot of sense because of the way this movie was made, that the setup for a third movie is so vague in this movie that they also could have kind of done anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it is just like, give us some threads, but don't make them too concrete.
Don't make them too, like, hard and fast.
Yeah,
because also, we're probably not making another one.
I can't imagine that anyone at the studio here was like, oh, yeah, this one's going to take off. I think, because, it technically made money. It made $55.9 million on a $20 million budget. So it technically, nobody lost. Technically,
it, doubled, but.
Yeah. But no one was.
And also, it was panned. Nobody was happy that they saw this.
8% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah.
And
I think the Metacritic score was less than 20.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the audience Rotten Tomatoes score is 35. So I mean, even the critics, what do they know? The fans also don't like this. No, because there's nothing to like. Not even being a fan of the games, there's just no movie here to engage with. So, oh boy. Well, let's talk about where it landed in the 2012 box office. So what did I say? It made 53, I think. Let's take a look here. All right. Where do you think that landed it? I've got the top 200, and it made. Let's see. Here it is. Is this going to be another one where it's not even listed? We've had this happen on the show where I try to find it, and I'm like, oh, it's not even here. Silent Hill. Oh shit! I don't know where it is. Actually, it didn't do well. Is the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's say it's definitely in the realm of movies I can't even tell you what they are. I'll tell you what did hit that year though. No surprise, The Avengers was number 1 at the box office, followed by Skyfall, Dark Knight Rises, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Ooh, man,
that's right.
We were all being set up for trouble there.
Yeah,
I definitely saw that first one in the theater for sure.
I think I saw the second one because I think Olivia and I went to go see it just to,
Yeah, I was just
see something at the theater.
I'm not the world's big. I mean, I'm known for not being a high fantasy fan to begin with. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy of films because they're great. And I went to that and I was just like, yeah, I think I'm good. I went to that one.
I don't think this one's for me.
No, yeah, I was just like, you know what, guys, you go ahead. I think I did eventually see a second one. I don't think I've actually watched the third one in its entirety.
I eventually saw the third one, and I was like, I am glad I did not pay to see this in the theater, because it's a stinker.
Well, they just drag like nobody's business. I'm not even seeing Silent Hill listed here, so yeesh. And then, let me round up.
What was the lowest that you can find?
The lowest one I can find.
What is 200?
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Oh.
But that movie was was successful because it cost nothing. So, that thing pulled in, 21 some. I mean, it's technically made less than Silent Hill, but I think
it was also a good movie.
It is a good movie. And like I said, for that movie, that was like doing big business. Because that's a tiny little indie.
That was like the indie darling of that year, I believe.
That's a beautiful movie, really. It's wonderfully made.
Yeah, it's really.
Go watch that.
Go watch Beasts of the Southern.
Go watch
It was better than Silent Hill according to the box office top 200 or whatever. So go watch that instead.
Yeah. This was also just on note of Silent Hill. This was the year the Sinister franchise began.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. 2012 was kind of big for.
You know what made a lot more money than this was the aforementioned Resident Evil Retribution.
Oh, that was the 3D one?
I think that was the 3D one. At least that's the one that came out the same year as this did.
Oh, okay.
I think that. I mean, they all blur.
It had
together.
to be, right?
Yeah, I think it had to be. There's, what are there, like 6 of those?
Yep. Resident Evil Retribution 3D.
There you go. A franchise, the Resident Evil franchise and the Underworld franchise are the two that always come to mind for me. Of just like, I don't understand. They're franchises that they kept making, yet seemingly no one is going to.
Nobody saw it.
How can this be? I don't know a single person who cares about these franchises, yet they've made 7 of them.
I think at some point, Paul Thomas Anderson was completely funding those Resident Evil movies.
Oh, Paul W.S. Anderson. Just
sorry. What did I say?
You said Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, I did. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I would love to see his
Anderson.
I would love to see his Resident Evil just out of sheer curiosity, but yeah. Paul W.S. Anderson. Well, we have floated the theory on here before that they are he and his wife Mila Jovovich are just getting studios to pay for their vacations.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
We'll also make like a weird fantasy movie or something or other, but we just really want to go to Rome. They're like, okay, whatever, sure. And if that's the case, then you know what? Good on them. You guys.
Good on them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
They seem lovely.
I wish that they would like maybe do an original bad movie instead of fucking with shit that people like, but I can't stop them. So
they just put out that like weird Western fantasy movie with her and Dave Bautista. I didn't see it. It seemed like
I don't even know what that is.
She's like a princess and he's like a cowboy gunslinger. It's it's based on some other George R.R. Martin thing that's not Game of Thrones.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh no, it made no impression on anyone. But while I get to miss the Resident Evil movies, I will have to talk about their Monster Hunter movie.
Yep, have fun with that.
Yeah, I will. She's got a big sword or whatever. Let's read some highs and lows. Let's see if there were. We'll start, of course, with the lows because that's obviously where we're landing on this. And I can't believe that there's anyone who, there's always somebody though. That's the thing I'm always amazed by. There's always somebody who goes, actually, if you think about it, it's genius.
It's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, there's always somebody who's like. Gergoni gets upset with the highs and lows segment because inevitably it ends up just being people reviewing other people's reviews. How could you say that? All right, this is the low. This comes to us from Maxwell Groom 513 and then a bunch of other numbers. I'm not going to sit here and read 10 more numbers. Anyway, but the title of the review is Stop. Please just stop. I am going to forget for a second that I've played Silent Hill. I'm going to switch off my brain and look at the film as a standalone project, a generic horror film about a creepy town called Silent Hill. And if somebody has forgotten all knowledge of the game series that this film is based on, it would be nice if the film could fill me in on the situation a little, instead of throwing 3D effects at the screen and trying poorly to relay a story that makes no sense that it almost becomes funny. I kind of agree with that. It does almost become convoluted to the point of being absurdist.
Yes, which like that's bad that
where I'm almost just like I'm amazed anyone put this out like
it's just not even coherent.
Things happen for no reason, have little build-up or explanation. It isn't too enjoyable thanks to the hokey acting from the majority of the cast. Even stars like Sean Bean and Kit Harington turned in mediocre performances, though with the writing the way it was, one can't exactly blame them. I will say, I like Kit Harington, but he is dog shit in this movie.
Oh, he's not doing anything in this.
And I think he's a good actor.
Was Game of Thrones like his first
I think
big acting role?
I think so.
Like,
this
I
was
don't
the
know
first.
What else he had been in previously?
I don't think much. I think he was the instant like discovery of that show. I feel like.
Yeah.
I certainly had never seen him.
What was
this was his first. This was his first movie.
Yes, this was his first movie. Yes,
yeah.
I am seeing.
Yeah, which that makes sense, but yeah, Game of Thrones was the first thing he did. It looks like.
Yeah, so
I hate the way IMDb places a show by the year it ended.
By the year it ended, yeah, it's not. I don't love that.
It would have to be that. Oh God, and then oh boy.
Yes.
Oh, Pompeii.
And then Pompeii was his like, oh, I'm a big star now, so I guess I should do a big star movie.
Do you remember who directed Pompeii?
No.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Tall W.S. Banderson.
He sure did. That's a Paul Anderson film, Pompeii. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Kit Harington sucks shit in this. Like, he is a good actor, but
it's unfortunate.
Like the first movie he'd ever been in, and so clearly he was having some trouble. And I get that.
And I do agree with this review. And saddled with garbage material. It's not like All right. Sorry, I got to read the rest of the review. Now, as someone who has seen the first film, this sequel. That's in quotes, sequel, has little to do with the first. Sure, it is set in the same place and some situations are repeated, but it doesn't continue the flow of the first, nor does it follow any of the momentum. The first ended in a bitter way that held no real place for a sequel to come in. Bitter way, that's interesting. So this, I wonder if they meant better. So this whole film just seems tacked on for some extra cash. I don't know, maybe it was bitter. Anyway.
It seems like they were still trapped in Silent Hill. That seems...
Yeah, I would say, I maybe would say bleak, but bitters and anyway. But I'm sure the real problem here is
interesting adjective. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure the real problem here is the shameless butchering of source material. If this film went under any other name or concept, it would be a badly acted straight-to-DVD movie that only plays on the Sci-Fi Channel. We said the same thing. But because of the capitalization of the name Silent Hill and the intellectual property of the creators, the film has been given a free pass, a pass which it did not use wisely. Once again, without any spoilers, it is safe to say that this film does nothing in the way of conveying the moods and feelings of any of the original games, nor does it try to follow any of their stories, which would be just fine if they didn't spend every other minute shoving fan service in my face, as if to say, look, remember this from the game, so do we. Take a good long look at it. I actually
John,
yeah,
I was gonna say, John, this is the least unhinged IMDb review ever brought to me.
This is totally fair. Yeah. I will say, because this movie deserves it. All in all, newcomers to the series who like horror films will have a tough time understanding it. People enjoyed the first film will probably lose interest fast. Anyone who's played the games will spend the entire film sitting in frustration. It is an unpleasant experience. I would recommend that nobody watches this, not even to see how bad it is, because I don't think the Silent Hill community will be very pleased with another sequel. 1 out of 10 stars. I agree. Yeah. It's like I was saying, it's a movie.
But again, where's the lines and lines about how much they liked other movies and that they've
the most
this is the most normal review.
Well, let's get ready to let's get a little on.
Bring it back home.
Yeah, here we go. Well, here we go. I'll read this one specifically because it will upset Gorgoni. The title of the review is "Go to Hell, Critics." Nice. It is the audience's opinion. Oh, I should say who this is from, because we need it. This comes to us from JFO2772. JFO2772. All right. It is the audience's opinion that really matters, not the opinion of those who are paid to proclaim the views of who pays them. Right off the bat, kind of conspiracy-minded.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Silent Hill got taken down by Big Movie.
By big newspaper, right? Anyway, in the critic's eye, the film has to overcome a lot of adversity. First of all, it is a video game adaptation, therefore the critics will meticulously compare it to the game, and since it was an incredible game franchise, it has some high standards. Another thing is there's a horror film. Horror films need to be picked over and judged with no mercy. Normally, by the way, I would agree with what this person is saying. I do think there is an unfair criticism of horror. Not in this case, though. This is bad. Where is it? Finally, we come to the fact that it is a new director. Critics will destroy these directors unless they make Oscar material films, and Silent Hill Revelation may never see an Oscar. The only way it may is with the acting performance by Adelaide Clemens, which was very notable. Oh, Oscar. The acting is a major step up from the first film, as the characters were believable. The characters were believable, compelling, and interesting, and the deliverance was incredible. Deliverance. Once again, some weird words today. Deliverance was incredible. The suspense is riveting if you find yourself enthralled by the story, but the film is tailored for an audience that already knows the story, which can be a hindrance to newcomers. I'm going to stop for just a second. I've seen this a lot this season. A lot of people going like, well, if you haven't played the games, of course you don't understand it. You're not supposed to. It's just like, no, that's not how movies work.
No. Okay.
The sets were well done and much better than the first film, in which most of the first film was shot on a soundstage with CG. The director is new, and it is notable there are more jump scares in this film than there needs to be, which is what a new director would define as scary when really it's just cliche. Ooh. The ominous soundtrack makes its return and is so very welcome. Such a perfect, creepy sound that brings the film to life. You have something to say about that?
I did like the soundtrack in this a lot. There were some sound cues that I was like, oh, that's a little thing from the game. That's nice.
Here again comes the word again. The deliverance of the acting performances is the key to. That's not the correct use of the word deliverance.
It's not.
And the music accents that very well. The film stays true to the story the first film created, as well as staying true to the video game Silent Hill 3. It was a tough task to tie the end of the first film in the beginning of this film while keeping the story of the third game intact. Although the transition between the two films wasn't seamless, it was definitely the most optimum way it could have been done. Before watching this film, some questions may come up, like how is Chris De Silva the same person as Harry Mason? I'll just say this. I mean, the answer in this movie is he just changed his name. It's not a...
Yeah, he just changed his name.
He didn't become a different guy.
That's the least confusing part of the whole movie.
And how is Heather Mason connected to him? It's his daughter. He changed her name, too. I don't know what the...
Yeah.
You must trust these questions and more will be answered, and those answers are believable. Okay. The protagonist and the antagonist...
Sure.
Are both the same in the film as they are in the third game, and Heather's outfit will make any Silent Hill gamer immediately recognize this. They put her in the right outfit, Elliott, so it's got to be faithful.
It's perfect, actually. It's a good movie because they put her in the right outfit.
The monsters were paramount to the film. They were creepy, ominous, and just messed up. The monsters added a presence to the film that is portrayed through the horrors and screams of the characters. They were very well done. Red Pyramid is featured in a more prominent role, and the nurses are more deadly this time around. The new monsters will leave you enthralled, begging for more. Finally, we come to Alessa. Although her time in the film is limited, she will creep you out as only she can. Back to my opinion, she didn't. Some of the best lines in the film are voiced by Alessa, reminding us of the parts of the first film with remnants of that deranged little girl still inside. Every film has shortcomings, and Silent Hill Revelations has fell victim to this fact, as has every other film in history. You can't please everyone. After all, nothing is perfect.
Listen, I think we can all agree that Silent Hill Revelation and The Godfather have gone through the same thing.
Their problems,
making them equivalent.
Their problems in every film has flaws.
Every film has problems, and that means they're all on equal footing.
The audience will not like the lack of Alessa. Yeah, that's the big problem. She is an integral character and should have an integral role. The lack of adventure will be a problem as well. Heather seemed to know exactly where to go at all times, something that an extra 20 minutes of runtime could have fit. Oh, you want this movie to be longer? No,
it was half an hour short.
Yeah, that's the only thing this movie has over the first one. Is at least it was a half hour shorter. Let's see, and one more hindrance is the jump scares. They do not interrupt or ruin the viewing experience in any way. I would argue they do kind of.
Yeah, I would argue they do.
Yeah,
especially
I mean we've seen it.
One.
Yeah, it's a common problem in horror movies that does annoy me for sure. Speaking of, it makes sense that Sinister came out the same year because that is Jump Scare-a-palooza. Anyway, they do not interrupt. The only problem seems to be the Silent Hill film should scare you by disturbing your moral fiber with brutality and sadism, not by jumping out at you.
It's just a weird way to word that.
It's a very weird way to word that. The beautiful thing about this film is that it recognizes the shortcomings and provides explanation with its plot. The facts are in the dialogue and recognized by the characters, being dealt with accordingly. Another great thing about this film, oh boy, this is so wrong. what this person's about to say, so just get ready. Another thing about this film is that it avoids the stereotypical "this film is 3D" moments, not tailoring the film to be 3D, but rather just having the 3D exist naturally. It is nonstop.
What movie did this person see?
It is nonstop hurling stuff at the camera. It is constant. Overall, this film is fantastic. Coming from a dedicated Silent Hill fan, it was so enjoyable as I was glued to the screen the whole time and left wondering, when am I going to see it again? It is a great watch and a great continuance of the first film, as well as a great adaptation of the third game. The critics bashed this film, yet it is a very solid rating from the audience, which is an accomplishment amongst films. Must have been early in that, because it doesn't now. It's another thing, because obviously this, like when it came out, the box office result will silence the critics as they did last time around. Ooh, I got bad news for this person. After all,
honey, you got a big storm coming.
Oh, honey, that's sad. Oh, baby, that's sad. After all, I just watched Silent Hill sequel, something the critics proclaimed would never happen. They all said it. They all said there'd never be a sequel. Why should we start?
We beat the odds.
Why should we start listening to them now when they were so wrong before? The Silent Hill fans will love this film, the critics will hate this film, and the newcomers will enjoy the ride. Go to hell, critics. 10 out of 10 stars.
Wow.
Yeah. Getting up on your high. Look, I feel this way about some movies, but wow, it's just, oh boy. Oh, man.
Yeah, I feel this way about some movies, but I would never write an unhinged IMDb.
Have you ever written an IMDb review ever?
Never.
No, me neither.
Never in my life.
One of the reasons I do this segment is I just can't believe people do it. I have never been. I have a letterbox.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I don't write them because I don't read them.
No.
So I'm assuming that no one's reading.
No, I don't know who these are for. Like I said, I have a Letterboxd account. It's actually the only social media I have. If you can follow me if you want to. I don't really care. But that is really more just for my personal journal of movies I watch more than anything.
And that makes the Letterboxd, that makes sense because that is the purpose of it. The purpose of IMDb, to me at least, I don't know what the initial purpose of it, if they were intending it to be just
do you remember
a full service movie site.
Do you remember they used to have forums? They used to have forums, which were a real nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine. But the purpose of IMDb, as to me, is a place to catalog movies and their existence, the cast, and information about it.
100%.
The audience should have nothing to audience opinion should have nothing to do with this.
No,
the only thing you should be able to contribute is trivia.
Yeah.
Because that's the funniest part of IMDb.
Oh, some of that stuff. I love the stuff where it's just interesting fact, they also played a character named Steve in this movie. All right.
My favorite thing to do is read all the stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I love that there's no comments. It's just this 50 people found this unhelpful.
Yeah, I do love. Yeah, that's the whole. No, honestly, IMDb. If you were to get rid of the reviews section, I would happily retire this segment of the show for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what leads people to that, but by God, they do. All right. Well, Silent Hill Revelation. I can't recommend either Silent Hill movie. We're still waiting on a good Silent Hill movie, and not really because you know what? Just let the games. We're not because Jacob's Ladder got made and it was one of the very big inspiration for the games. So you should just go watch that. I will say, I will say it as many times as I have to. Just go watch Jacob's Ladder. That's a good movie. Yeah. But I will say I love. I read because on the Wikipedia they have the thing about the new movie Gans made exists. And in it, Gans talks about not only have I worked with Konami on this and gotten their approval, I'm a much better filmmaker now. He basically says, I have gotten way better at directing. I don't believe him. Yeah, I was going to say, we looked at his IMDb last time, and I don't think that that's true. I just love the idea of a director going out going, no, this time, trust me, guys, I've gotten way better. I got this. I've never seen a filmmaker say that. I'm so much better now. Trust me on this one, guys. Give me another shot, won't you? Please. All right. Well, Elliott, we'll let you rest for a while after this.
Please.
While Michael Listman returns to the show next week to discuss Need for Speed. Cars.
Need for Speed.
It's Cars. A movie I have no idea what to expect from, because as far as I know, you just drive cars really fast in those games. I've never actually played one.
I've never played Need for Speed.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if it's like a GTA like knockoff, or if you're just driving cars.
I think it's more focused on racing than GTA, I think, but not to the level of like a Gran Turismo.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got a weirdly good cast, like Aaron Paul and Rami Malek and Michael Keaton. Are in the Need for Speed movie. Dominic Cooper's in it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What I don't know what anybody's doing there, but we'll find out. Michael Listman and I will find out.
Going undercover in the racing
scene. And I believe we'll next hear from you, Elliott. I think at the moment, you and Olivia are ending the. Well, no, you're. Oh, right. I forgot. I did ask you to do Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, that's right.
Because I know nothing. You also, but you're the horror person.
Yeah, I know.
But also, at the moment, you and Olivia are ending the season with the Until Dawn movie.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. That makes you.
Yeah, there you go.
Something to look forward to.
That's at the moment the most recent release we're covering, unless something was something would have to come. But I think that is where the season's going to end at this point. So we'll have that. Of course, if you want to hear more from us on all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network, including Elliott, can be heard every week over on Material Components.
As well as our Let's Play series on the Mass Effect franchise.
Yeah, so head over.
Definitely, when this comes out, definitely will still be in Mass Effect 2.
Yes, you're in Mass Effect 2 at the point that this will be released. That will have come out.
That will have started by this time.
So check that out. That's on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. And, of course, you want to head over to our Patreon page to check out all the cool exclusive stuff we have on there, which is patreon.com/punchupent. Check that out. Be one of our super cool patrons. And hear all kinds of fun stuff, including, if you are a horror fan, you can hear our entire series about the works of Vincent Price and Peter Cushing. Those are now out in their entirety on our Patreon. So check that out. But that's going to do it. I think until next week, the case file is closed.